Hello, children. Welcome to Enjoy Stories. In this series, we will be reading one story every episode. This is a part of my effort to encourage children to take to reading and collect books. Wishing all the very best. Today, we will read the story Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, Part 2. After the dwarfs had left, she knocked at the cottage door. "Pretty lady," she called out pleasantly, "would you like some ribbons or buttons, some buckles, a new lacing for your dress?" and smiled a wicked smile. When Snow White opened the door, "Here," she said, picking up a lace from the basket. "Let me help you tie this pretty lace for you." Then she pulled the lacing so tight that Snow White could not breathe and fell to the floor as if she were dead. The queen hurried back to her palace, sure that this time Snow White was really dead. When the dwarfs came home that evening, they found Snow White lying on the floor, deadly pale and still. Horrified, they gathered around her. When they spotted a new lacing on her dress and that it was tied very tightly, one of them quickly cut it. Snow White began to breathe again, and all seven dwarfs heaved a sigh of relief, as by now they loved her dearly. After this, they begged Snow White not to allow any stranger into the cottage when she was alone, and Snow White promised that she would do as they said. That evening, the queen was outraged when the mirror told her that Snow White is still the fairest. One more plan to kill Snow White had failed. She made up her mind to try again. So, disguising herself as an old peasant woman, she put a poisoned apple with others in her basket and set out for the dwarf's cottage. Snow White was in the kitchen when she heard the knock at the door. "Who's there?" she called suspiciously, remembering the dwarf's advice. "I'm an old woman selling apples," came the reply. "I don't need any apples. Moreover, I'm not supposed to open the door to anyone," said the little girl, who was reluctant to disobey her little friends. "If you promise not to open up to strangers, then of course you can't buy. You are a good girl indeed," the old woman went on, "and as a reward for your being good, I'm going to gift you one of my apples." Without a further thought, Snow White opened the door just a tiny crack to take the apple. The moment she bit into the fruit, she was affected by the poison and fell down as if dead. Now, chuckling wickedly, the queen hurried off to the palace. She was delighted that day when she looked into her mirror and asked, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest one of all?" And the mirror replied, "You, O queen, are the fairest one of all." The dwarfs worried about Snow White all day. In the evening after work, they ran as quickly as they could down the mountain to their cottage. They found Snow White lying still and lifeless with the poisoned apple by her side. They did their best to bring her back to life, but it was of no use. They wept bitterly for a long time. Then they laid her in a coffin and placed a glass lid over the top so that all could admire her beauty even though she was dead. They carried the coffin to the top of a hill where they took turns to stand guard. After a few days, a prince who was riding through the forest came to the hill where Snow White lay in her glass-topped coffin. She looked so beautiful that he fell in love with her at once. He asked the dwarfs if he might take the coffin to his castle. The dwarfs would not allow him to do so, but they did let the prince kiss her. As soon as the prince kissed Snow White, he gently moved her head. The piece of poisoned apple fell from her lips. Slowly, she came back to life. Snow White opened her eyes and she saw the handsome prince kneeling on the ground beside her. She fell in love with him instantly. The queen, far away in the castle, could not believe her ears when she heard the mirror say, "You, O queen, are fair is true, but Snow White is still the fairer one than you." By now, the king had also discovered that she had been up to some mischief and had banished her from his land. No one ever saw her or her mirror again. As for Snow White, the prince asked her to marry him, and the seven dwarfs reluctantly had to bid goodbye to her. At the prince's castle, Snow White and the prince were married, and they both lived happily ever after. Thank you for watching this, children. Hope you all enjoyed it. We will meet again with another story.